Mic check 1, 2. All right. That's good now. You guys are in for a treat. Oh, look at that. Nothing's working. Oh, hey. There we go. Yeah. Remember I said I was going to clean my bench last week? I guess that did not happen. Yeah. In fact, I just kind of added to the pile. Turn that music down a little bit so I can hear myself think. I still have to fix that in my Stream Deck because that's not working yet. Anyways, yeah, we got a pile of crap that I kind of got to sort through real fast. This is a liquid damaged motherboard that I'm still on the fence about. Yeah, let's just go through this stuff real quick because I got some kind of neat things here and some not so neat things because, you know, it seems like I keep getting re-haunted by these Switch OLEDs. Minor interesting development regarding both of those. Let's get some rain juice going here. Okay, so I guess you can see the top of that pile. That's going to be what we're going to start with today, and that is a Switch Lite, which came to me as no power, unable to charge, but as you can see, that was a lie. So, while it started off as a potentially kind of fun little fix, it's looking pretty mundane. The whole thing is perfectly functional, except for two little things here. Now, I did actually want to, there you go, let's pull it up. There we go. Let me know you can see a little better. So, yeah, you can see like this thing is perfectly fine, but two things. One, the buttons are very sticky, which is concerning. And then you can see my minus button's not working. That was the right, and then my left trigger's not working. So we know that generally, when it comes to switches and problems on left-hand side inputs, that we've got most likely a problem with the ribbon cable. Why do we have a problem with ribbon cable? I am hazarding a guess that this thing is liquid damage. Judging from the fact that the buttons, like this Y button was just sticky there. There's a bunch of gunk up around the shoulder buttons. There's gunk everywhere around this thing, just even in the SD card slot. When I looked into it, I had to kind of clean it out. I just have a feeling that we're going to open this up and there's going to be some liquid damage on the inside. Now this is a Switch OLED. Now, what we got that fixed last week, right? Well, we did, and you know, I double checked this because I was really confused, but we'll find out that you get charging on one side and everything looks like it should be fine, right? There it goes, it's booting just fine. Well, what's wrong with it? Well, I flipped that USB cable around, you get nothing. So we got to reflow the USB port, which I'm not too upset about because I wasn't really particularly very happy with the quality of my work on it, but it looked like it worked, and I'm kind of the school of thought that don't fix what ain't broken. So I thought I could kind of get away with a slightly wonky port install where the legs of the port were off just by a hair. But apparently that is not the case, and I did go back and verify on stream because I was like, I swear to God that I saw both sides light up because I checked that. You know, obviously if you get charging on one side but not on the other, then you've got an issue still. And sure as shit, I still have an issue. Now, that brings us to the other Switch OLED that you're probably looking at right now. Sorry, I'm kind of moving around, picking some things up while I get ready here. And we have the same situation where charges on one side but not on the other. So we're going to have to refill that port as well. And then if we have time, I'd really like to see if I can crack an Xbox. So that's what we got going on deck. These are just some passes I need to organize. There's that Switch OLED that we need to refill the port on. I might actually end up keeping one of these, to tell you the truth. I'm not sure. This is just a regular switch that I was testing with. It is fine. Actually does not need to be worked on, thankfully. And in this Astute Observers, throw these Joy-Cons back in the bucket of Joy-Cons I got now. So, coming up shortly to this channel, we are going to be working on a very modern Nintendo, and this little package of parts, which I'm going to leave as a package of parts until I take it out for you when I work on it, is everything I would need to build a video upscaler so that I could feed it composite or component video, and then it'll output to a VGA, and then I've got a VGA to HDMI adapter. So that's going to be kind of cool. Now this is not, I'd basically just be following a guide from Voltar. And I'll probably hopefully be making a video out of that one too. So I'm not going to be doing anything like that hasn't been done before, but I think it'll be fun, and it'll kind of kickstart that NES project that I've been desperately trying to get to for a while now, but I just haven't had time to. And I'm really looking forward to that one. Basically, a guy redesigned or designed a PCP and found modern replacements for all the components. So all I have to do is rip a CPU and a PPU from a NES, and then I can put everything onto a modern board and basically have a brand new NES. On top of that, I also ordered an RGB mod. That's Tim Worthington RGB mod, an sRGB, and that will convert the video from composite to component, which is a much cleaner video output. And then obviously I just showed you the video upscaler, which will then convert that to an HDMI output so that I can just plug it directly into my big screen. The other thing that I do have coming, which isn't here just quite yet, but will be here tomorrow, is I do have a multi-out port for the Super Nintendo that I will be using for the Nintendo. Just kind of neat. I originally was going to go with the Genesis, but the Super NES multi-out looked a lot cleaner, in my opinion, and I think it just kind of overall just fits more with the aesthetic of Nintendo. You know, it's a Nintendo port for a Nintendo system, so hey. So yeah, so I'm just talking through these screw removals, and this screw boss right here is a little chewed up for some reason. This back plate needs to go. I'm gonna see if I have a replacement in my bag of parts. The big reason for that is the game cart. It's damaged right here, so this doesn't fully close. And then I think it's split on the USB port down there. Now, I was initially thinking that somebody might have gotten into this. Yeah, it feels like it. Usually when those case halves are kind of split, it's kind of a sign that someone's been inside, but don't really know. Yeah, I'm thinking we're... Oh, look at that. They ripped the speaker port. Yeah, someone's been in this. The speaker port's ripped from the board. Well, that'll be fun to fix. And I'm seeing all this white shit. Generally is a sign of liquid damage, but I'm not seeing any on the daughter board for now. So let's get this heat shield off real quick. more and more and more I am thinking that someone was in this because they have screws in the wrong places. This is supposed to be a brass screw right here. It is not. Okay, wrong screw number one. So really, it might just be as easy as just figuring out, maybe this guy forgot the membrane, which doesn't feel like it. No, the membrane's there. I'm thinking something's wrong with this ribbon cable. I still think there's going to be water damage on this board. But we'll see here in just a second. This metal plate's feeling crusty. There's definitely some liquid right there. I don't have much hope for this. And I didn't have much hope for this when I saw it turn on. And then just saw those two buttons refuse to work, which I just know from experiences. Oh, look at that. Well, surprisingly, there's some blue shit right here that I have no idea what the fuck it is. I don't even know what that is. Tape? It's actually looking like sort of debris got mixed in here. I don't know what that is. And I squished the viscose paste out onto the board. It's not a huge deal, but well, I mean, aside from the speaker connector being ripped off, thing looks normal. No, the flex button, and the only thing that's not working is the minus button and the shoulder button, or the trigger here. Let's just pull the board out. We're gonna have to repair it anyway. I'm gonna take a look at that flex cable actually. Let's take a look at the flex cable real quick. That one pin right there looks weird, but like not like concerning. The cable is not in all the way correctly though. So let us just fix that. And we'll test again, which I don't think would cause the issue, but you know, I don't really know. Alright, so let's give her a squiz here and see if that fixed it. Oh, I guess I never... Yeah, I gotta get better at this. So essentially we are just going to just check these two buttons. Ah, dang it. Okay. Well. Dang it. Look. What the heck were they doing? Why? What's going on? I don't understand. I literally don't understand. What were they doing? Why is the speaker connector ripped off? I mean, to be fair, other than that, there is definitely something that got in here. I'm gonna have to like go over this with a microscope, I'm thinking. just looking at it real quick, like it's all normal. Yeah, I'm actually gonna have to replace the see, it looks like they ripped off the ground legs there. And I don't know if I can rescue that. So here's the port, right? There is the two legs that need to get soldered to the board. Looking pretty effing mangled. Oof. And they really did a number on this son of a bitch. And actually, that's the other thing, too. Is how the heck am I going to get this off? They really did a number on this. So, like, I'm trying to hold it down by the connector. See, there's just not much you can do to grip it. You don't really want to grip on these wires because they're so thin and fragile. I mean, I could just throw a brand new daughter board in this and be on my way, but I'd rather just see if I can fix this. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be able to, but even those look, fairly damaged. So I don't know. We're gonna have to see about maybe just well, whatever they did, it is seriously jammed in there right now. And the problem I'm going to have is I don't think I'm going to be able to get a good enough grip on this thing. Change my headset battery out real fast. Going back. Okay, well, I don't know what I can do about this. Can I maybe like pin this part down or get a better grip on this maybe? Let's see, can I get a better grip on a big part here? Maybe? I don't think so. Hey, look at that. Now that the unfortunate circumstance of that is I have I have no idea where that speaker connector went. Not like it really matters because it don't matter. I mean, I don't think I was saving that thing anyway. It shot off into the freaking 9th dimension, which I guess is kind of expected. But here we can see there's more. I think they got Coke. This looks like Coke. Whatever this is. What about the other side? I might just have to. And the good thing is, like, everything works, but alcohol going real quick. Let's see what this stuff is. Real cleans up pretty good. Nice little scrub a dub, I guess, and flip it around here and leave anything residual. I think we'll go to just you. Just for the cleaning, this, I don't know. Maybe I'll flip back to that. Kind of like being able to like get a really good look at the plastic. Let's just check for residue. That honestly looks fine. I am a little concerned about this other side, though. If you remember, the other side had issues with. You know why I did that? I've got a whole freaking thing dedicated to special tool just to dispense alcohol. Let's clean this off a little bit. I am out of paper towels, unfortunately. I ran out using the last one this morning and didn't realize it. So otherwise I would have just wiped this off. Trying to avoid getting puddles of alcohol everywhere. Alright, so I didn't like on this guy, there's a whole bunch of crap on the left hand side. And someone's been in here, maybe. I don't know. We're gonna pull off. We're gonna just refurbish this board. I think. Yeah, look at that. So I think it's gonna be a good idea for me to just pull this board down to the motherboard here, and clean it. Just at least scrub the surface with some alcohol. Refurbish it, put some new thermal paste on to clean up all this viscous crap that had leaked. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. I mean, you know, I'm going to be reselling this, and I really would much rather know that the board is clean, got some fresh thermal paste on it. I have inspected everything so that there's no gotchas. And how much does it suck if you spend $110 on a brand new device and it goes up in smoke a day or two after you get it? I'd be upset too. By the way, I do sell these. I generally charge about $110 for a Switch Lite and $125 for a Switch tablet. The Switch OLEDs are going to be going $250 for the tablet. So if anybody out there is interested, send me a DM or whatnot. We'll work out the details. Also got word back from the customer who had me do the custom Game Boy build for them just recently. And I think she is going to be sending me a original Game Boy. She says she could not get powered on anymore. I told her I would be glad to look at that for her. Most likely it's either due to dirty or corroded battery terminals, or the little DC power board that allows you to hook in a wall charger might be faulty. Power issues on the Game Boy tend to not be very hard to suss out, and the last big suspect is generally going to be the power switch. Yep. So now we're getting somewhere here. So my initial thoughts were correct. So like, take a look at this. So thankfully it didn't really damage much, but I think this is where the liquid came in. This does look like, it looks like Coke. Some sort of brown sugar. Brown sugar soda. So we got lucky, and it does appear that, I don't know what that is. What is that? There is a little piece of plastic. Is that an index nub? I mean, regardless, I'm not going to be able to put it back on, but I don't know where that came from. That's not fucking cool. This thing got banged around, obviously. But yeah, all right. Well, that's good. Yeah, we definitely need to continue with this, because it's pretty obvious that it's been exposed to liquid. So let's go ahead and just clean her up, eh? And I'm just undoing the game card reader here in the audio socket. And there's just more signs of liquid ingress right there. Thankfully, nothing in the actual mid-frame. Looks like most of it's just going to be just basic surface rust or corrosion. Sorry. No rust, thankfully. Okay, so they surprisingly did not take off the fan here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that for them. I like to heat the glue up, and then I try my best not to destroy this foam. It's not too terribly important. It's just kind of a pride thing, I guess. Yeah, might have been wrong on that. They might have lifted this. Okay, now that I got that off, I'm seeing a little bit of liquid damage around the audio chip. always end up using that, and it's so much better to use a plastic tool. Let's get these ribbon cables pulled out. Find the digitizer, and last but not least, we've got the fan. Now the motherboard should just lift on out. And that would also explain to me why the buttons were also sticking. It does feel like it is kind of... Well, good for us. It does look like, thankfully, the liquid did not make it very far. Just doing a very quick little visual inspection here, and yeah, we got very lucky. We got lucky. It looks like all the liquid got kind of trapped. Maybe it was thick enough, or just not enough of it made it through. I still want to know how they managed to rip off the speaker connector on the other side. I'll say that as I struggle with this one. There we go. Pull that off for cleaning. Let's grab an older Q-tip here and try to grab most of this thick and chunky stuff. Alright. Just cleaning off the excess thermal paste here to stop it from being a giant mess. Me? It does tend to get everywhere. This stuff down here is going to be kind of... I think we'll just do it the hard way here and try to dissolve it and rub it off. Gets this viscous stuff when it gets down onto the board. It's just a pain in the butt. It likes to just live between the passes. A lot of alcohol basically solve your issue here. Soak it, liquefy it, and soak it up. Get it off the board. A lot of it will probably end up on your mat, like it's doing right now for me. Then we can just take a... Probably need to empty that trash can. I had a stiffer brush around here somewhere. No, there it is. So we get a stiff bristle. See about scrubbing this crap out. This is just me wanting to make it nice more than anything. Okay, I think that should do it. We'll quick final little scrub down here. Alright, well, thankfully they didn't try to get into the CPU. Alright, I think that should do it for me. Just take a quick look under the microscope. Oh, we can see yeah. The other reason you really don't want too much thermal paste getting there is that is a BGA chip right here. It won't really affect anything. It just, you don't want that shit getting underneath it. Alright, so I think really what we're going to do is just look around the board. See, there's very, very, very minor liquid damage there. There's some very, very minor liquid damage there. You can see spots everywhere. USB port looks fine. Fine. There's no corrosion around the backlight circuit, which is great. And we'll go back to this side. There's we already looked at this. Okay. Just some cleaning that we got to do, and then on the other side of the board, you can see a little bit of. So, yeah, I can't tell. That might have picked up my map, but that's looking fine. All the CPU stuff is good. Nothing around that max chip. Audio chip right here. No, this is the input control. This is what handles all your buttons and stuff. We got M92, BQ, fuel gauge, fuse. I mean, all that's fine. The board's booting, so I know for a fact that it's okay. So I think really all we got to do is just scrub it. So let's get to cleaning. More boring cleaning for you guys. How about that? Kind of sucks, but yeah. So I can't remember what I paid for this one. It was pretty cheap if I remember right. I think like $65. You know, I mean, like, anything that made its way onto the board. Let's just give her a good old scrubby dub here. Now, to be fair, this is probably where I would honestly more prefer to ultrasonic clean the board. I am too poor to afford an ultrasonic cleaner. I can't really justify the cost for one just yet, but more and more of these I do. Getting very closer to getting a medium-sized one, but they are very, very expensive. It's kind of odd. SD card was a little junky, and I kind of had to clean it out with a hobby knife. Everything else is looking fine. Okay. Let's let that dry real quick, and then we'll get to cleaning everything else, which thankfully isn't much. Just very light liquid damage in this one, which is really lucky. I do better want to. Yeah, even the inside of the game card reader is looking fine. Let's try to get some bristles down there. Got it. Okay, call that good. Now let's grab this really gross, this one? This one. Gross speaker here. Okay. Scrubby scrub. We already cleaned that, so no news for that again. Now this guy is really, I think he took the most damage, honestly. Grab that. This stiffer bristle is actually really good for these little shoulder buttons. Really hope it didn't stain this. This is really gunked on here. Might actually have to scrape at this because holy crap, I don't know what this stuff is, but it is not wanting to come off. A little plastic scraper here. Let's see about maybe loosening some of it up. Does not seem like it wants to give though. I want to know what this stuff was. It's got to be soda. It's got to be soda. Let's just try this metal pick here. I hate using metal on plastic, but my God, this stuff does not want to come up. Better, but I might end up having to like soak these. I might end up just replacing it. I have a bag full of freaking buttons. I mean, it's not like I need to use this. It's just not wanting to come up. God, whatever this stuff is, it does not want to come up unless I've like scrape at it with this metal pick. Just don't want to keep wasting alcohol, but jeez. Man, what are you? My lord. I've never had Gamer Gunk this stiff before. Well, parents, whatever the crap this stuff is, do not let your frickin' kids have it. I'll tell you what. This is a nightmare. Okay. One more side really left. Oh shoot, that's not even a speak that we got to get into those buttons too and do the same thing most likely. I might just end up leaving them soaking in some alcohol for, actually, you know, let's do that, because there's really almost no point in me putting this back together until all this is cleaned. Like all this. Yep. So let's go get, I mean, this is like, this is the button that was sticking, and it is just covered in that brown crap, whatever the heck it is. The membrane is not too bad, but still needs work. And I need to figure out a little container to stick these into. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Maybe? No. I think maybe down here. There we go. Get ourselves a little shot glass here. Just dump all that in there for now, and then enough alcohol to cover everything. All right, set that aside. We'll let that soak. And we'll get to repairing this daughter board, I guess. Put that membrane in there as well so I don't lose it. Which makes me want to check this for any damage. Might as well throw that in there as well. I'll order more alcohol this week. Oh, that just soak. Dang, I am going through a lot of ISO today. I'm probably gonna have to come in here anyway with a toothbrush and go through these holes. Oh, this is fine, but leave that one alone, I guess. let's get this daughter board out. Take a look at things over here. There we go. Another wrong screw. Screw that up. That was supposed to go probably down in there. Alright, this is going to need to go in for a soak as well. Oh, and they're completely missing the screw. Man, they're just missing screws. Alright, let's just pull this ribbon off so that it's not in my way. Now, let's see here. Okay, so okay, so you can see those two ground legs are still there, so we're gonna get those off real fast. Ooh, soldering iron scared me for a second there. I'm just gonna let's go ahead and just flow you off. Same thing on this side. Blow it off. Take a little bit of solder braid here. Cleaned it off. That needs a little bit more cleaning. There we go. Okay. And we can just take a okay. Now, I could just replace this daughter board, but it seems like a big waste just for a speaker connector. But everything else about this board seemed to work just fine, so. That's my big bag of organize a little bit better. Pretty sure this board in here is dead. Look at it real quick. Yeah, looking like it. Oh yeah, 100%. This one's dead. So just for now. Alright, so we're gonna put this aside real quick, and then let's the way. Now, I've actually had to do this repair before. It's been a while. I think, wait, this is a completely dead board, so. Not cooperating with me here. Come on. Might need to pull it out just a bit farther. Come on. Okay. I don't know why that wanted to stick on the board so bad, but it did, huh? Let's just stick this right here for now. And then we're going to have to retin this. Alright, where's my board holder? I think I want to use that for this. Just to make my life somewhat easier. I think, I hope. I should be able to, yeah. Perfect. Just wanted to switch out to a slightly smaller tip for this. Make my life a little easier anyway. Okay, so let's go ahead here and No, I don't know why I tried this without flux, but let's flux it up a little bit here, huh? Flux makes our life easier. Always has, always will. You know, I was watching some 1940s soldering video, which, boy, I really kind of urge everybody to go watch who might have an interest in soldering, because, boy, it's crazy to see A, the equipment that they used, and then B, the techniques that they used. That should do us just fine. So now, we grab our freshly pulled port. See those little metal legs sticking out? Purposely left the flux on the board to kind of hopefully tack it down, because sometimes the tinning will, the pads are kind of like domed, so they don't really want to let things sit flat. That's stuck to my finger now. I really can't. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit here. Refocus just so I can see what the heck I'm frickin' doing, eh? All right, there we go. Much better. That is the problem with flux, though. It tends to cause it to stick to everything. God dang it. Come on. Let's grab a little pokey jammy. Alright, gotta straighten you out just a little bit. And you need to get nudged over like a millimeter. Not have to be perfect. I think that should almost do me just fine. Hopefully the solder will kind of grab it into place for me. Okay. Should do it just fine. Okay. Looks good to me. I mean, I couldn't nudge it, but whatever. Just a speaker connection. As long as this leg right here that one's soldered. That one is not. Might be able to just tap-a-roo there. That might have gotten it. I might have to push down a little bit though in the actual port. That feels That's solid. Problem is this pin is so tiny. I just want to make sure I'm pushing the pin, not the port. I think we're good though. Okay. Okay. We should be okay there. Let's get this donor board put away. Microscope back in the off position. I keep wasting all this Amtech Fluxa stuff. It's just not fun. Alright, so now this is going to need a scrub. Clean up all that residual flux there. Take a look under the microscope too, just to make sure we don't have anything sitting in the actual port, which I shouldn't, but you never know. Don't want to gum up that speaker connection any. Should be good there though, honestly. Let's see here. Pink. That's good. If it would focus. There we go. Okay. Focused enough, eh? I think we should be flat. That's the other thing I do want to just double check, but just to make sure that. Boy, just not. There we go. Yeah, flat enough. Probably could have used a little bit more solder on that other ground pad, but we're good for now. All right, so let's we've had these parts soaking for a while now. Guess it's probably time to start cleaning them off and then getting this motherboard ready to get put back in. What a boring repair, just straight cleaning. Which, you know, anybody who knows me, cleaning is not one of my favorite things to do, so. And I guess you really can't complain too much about the easy ones. Sometimes it's kind of nice to get an easy repair in, and easy being the operative word. But this one wasn't too difficult, just boring. Look at it. Let's see if we got. Yeah, see, this needs to get cleaned too. Alright, well, we showed that one soaked and we didn't. That's fine. I'm gonna be missing some screws when I put this back together. Maybe. Okay, let's grab my. Now it's changed a little bit of color in there, so that's kind of a good sign. It usually means that some of the stuff is starting to dissolve off. I guess we'll start working on it with this brush here. Makes me wonder, do you want to maybe zoom in on this? Can y'all see what I'm doing? Not really, but... So essentially I'm just, going under the nooks and crannies of this thing and just kind of scrubbing off any remaining gunk. And then I could make it sticky or whatnot. It just look ugly in general. Most of this is coming off. This stuff is coming off pretty easy, so I guess it's just normal goo that you deal with. Usually you get like a buildup of like sweat and hand gunk. It's always in your best interest to just kind of scrub it off. Doesn't take that long. So that's one part. Let's grab another out of there. Okay, this is the that. Yeah, after a good soak, this stuff's scrubbing off way easier. Yeah, off camera too. I'm sorry, I'm just not used to the zoom level. But this stuff was just kind of really glued on here. I've not really encountered something that was this stubborn before. It's just kind of hard to show, but it is everywhere. Like here's a good, this side's got a lot on it. I might have to toss this one back in the soap again, but seems like it's coming up okay. That one might need a little bit of scraping here. I generally don't advise to use metal on plastic parts because you will mark them up. Oh man, whatever this stuff is, it's like let's throw that back in there for a little while. Let's go grab some of these buttons maybe. Let's start with this membrane here. This one wasn't too bad. I'm gonna grab our toothbrush for this one though. A little softer bristles. I don't really want to tear or rip this because then you just basically make it useless. The top part's not as important to get clean. That what you really want to make sure is clean are these little black pads here. These things are actually carbon, and they're what causes the electrical connection to occur because they conduct electricity. So when you push them down across a button pad, they complete the circuit and send the signal. So if they're gunked up, they won't make contact or proper contact and won't close the circuit. So better to give those a really good scrub than anything else. But other side's good too. Again, just gentle, gentle, gentle. They're sturdy, but they can rip. Let's grab some of these buttons here. One of them was the Y button, I think it was pretty grody. Yeah, this is a good idea. I could see a lot of the water is pretty murky, or the alcohol is pretty murky, which means it absorbed or dissolved a fair bit. Well, this is going to be kind of a problem. Now, let's see here. I gotta. Maybe I could do it like this. Probably not. Actually, that's a good idea. If I do this, kind of forms don't even know. I think I'm just gonna have to really kind of manually scrape these off. These are pretty bad. Alright, well that's coming off pretty easy, so quick little scrape and then brush should do me. That one looks to be good. Shoot in the done pile. This one's the same thing. We're going to just start and do a scrape. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Boy, good thing I saw that. Just dumped a couple of screws. I gotta stop getting complacent with that and start putting them back in the baggies like I used to do. Son of a... Boy, I hope that's what that was. Oh, whatever. I got plenty of replacements if I need them. So basically, right at the where the base of the button, it's just a little bit of a lip, and it is collecting. So now, okay. Okay, the same thing. So this is the home button, and you could just see there's like just a little bit of buildup on this one. This one didn't feel stiff or crunchy, but I can definitely see where some of it leaked through. Okay, that's looking nice and clean. Now, is this the Y button? This is the A button. Same thing. I'm gonna scrape. Actually, with this stuff, the alcohol loosened everything up well and good, so I'm not even really scraping. It's just kind of gentle pressure, really. And then I just kind of scrub. I hold the button down under the mat and just scrub against the side of it and rotate it. So you do a nice little 360, and then you inspect, make sure all the crap is removed. That is done. Okay. Let's grab this last button in here. This is the really crunchy one. The Y button. And we're just gonna let those soak for the time being. Now this one was really bad. It's just caked on there. Took the brunt of it, so to speak, I guess. But yeah, that dissolved pretty good. So guess I could turn my soldering iron off. I'm not really using it. Well, that cleaned up really really good. Kind of see now there's just no more gunk on it. So now we've got to get to these trigger buttons, or shoulder buttons actually. This one. Let's keep doing the same, I guess, with the scrape and scrub. Whatever this stuff is, though. There we go. But it was on there a lot thicker, or I don't know, but it's not. It just does not want to come up there. That's doing good. Yeah, that soak was what these needed, really. Even though some of it's still kind of stubborn, once you kind of break through that. This edge right here. Okay. Let's see, that one's pretty much well set and good. There's a couple of chunks taken out of the plastic there, but there's not much I can do about that. And I think we're on to our last one here. I think I did have, yeah, there it is. One more membrane. I just got to pull out of that. Wow. There it is. It went from clear to a very cloudy liquid. So I did a good job at dissolving a lot of this crap. And then we're coming in with just a little bit of extra help to loosen it up further. Yeah, so this one's got heavy right there. Pretty gross. Back in. Problem is there's a spring on these things too, and I'm trying my best not to deform it or ping it off into oblivion, because again, I've got spares, but I hate losing parts that I already have, having to replace them, because I'm careless. Don't be careless. Alright, so we got most of that off. I am just so curious. I just want to know. What in the F was that? They obviously opened it up. I wonder if, like, yeah. I wonder if they opened it up and then, like, broke the ribbon connector and freaked out. And then just sold it as a no power, no charge. I don't know. Honestly, besides the back cover, the thing is like in pretty terrific shape. And I should have a spare back cover. Now I gotta get this other side here. stuff is glued on my concrete though. So stubborn. So stubborn. But bending to my will, slowly but surely. There we go. All right, man, that's looking good. Nope. Come on. It's just like I just keep seeing little tiny spots of brown. I can't tell if that's because it's on the mat and gets sucked back onto the plastic, or if I'm just not scraping enough. All right, so I'm just kind of looking at this. Looking pretty good, I think. I can still see a little bit of brown on it, so we're gonna just grab this last little tiny bit right here. Maybe a quick extra little dunk just in case. Using my nail just to get these last couple tiny little spots up. I think that's really as good as we're going to get it. Okay. Now, we get to take a look at this thing here. And what I'm looking for is just to see if I could see any gunk in the all these buttonholes, the recesses for the buttons. I don't see any on the actual shell, but I think just for posterity's sake, or just to be thorough, I'll just get some alcohol on the inside of these things. I'll be careful of this LCD. Should be okay, but they are fragile, so you don't want to bend or put too much pressure on it here. Alright, so let's see. No control, arms flapping as a hurtle into the unknown, tied on the waist, unconsciously sealing my own fate. No resistance or game being played. I chose the life of a castaway. I chose the life of a castaway. We should be good there. Now, the cool thing about most Nintendos and most Nintendo buttons is that they are indexed to fit in a very specific hole. So, when we go to put these back, well, first of all, we do know that the home button goes in the home button slot, but even that is indexed, and if you'll notice, you'll have one side is thicker on the left here than the right, and then if you look in the boss right here, the left side is thicker than the right, and there it goes. And the same thing now. It's just for hell of it, just kind of scrub this real quick, just in case. Okay, and it's the same thing. These little membranes will only fit on one way, or at least these will. So you gotta match the thick side up to the thin side. So there we go, and it'll hold on nice and tight. So let's go ahead. Oh, I might actually have to do some more work on that one, so we'll throw you back real quick. Okay, let's grab a button. We have our B button, which I'm pretty sure is going to be... Oops. Well, let's put the home button back, huh? Alright, so if you look on the inside, there's these little plastic indexers, and then if you look at the buttons, obviously you know which direction is your face. So if I flip it over, I can see that I've got a slot here, and then 2 slots here, and I got a slot here, and then 2 slots here. Now I've found that if you take a tweezer, and then you see how they're naturally springy and they spring open, it'll hold the button, and then you can kind of just drop it in and then squeeze the tweezer, and then it'll just slot right in for you. So if you're struggling with these things a little bit, that's a pretty big help. Now the A button, let's see, we've got like that. So we've got 2 notches up top and then a notch down to the left, and then we can see that we've got 2 notches up top and a notch to the left. So let that bite in, drop and squeeze. There we go. And they'll settle down nice. You should have a good bit of space, because you're going to need to stick the membrane in after this. So now the Y button. This is the X button. So we've got now the X is the tricky one here, because X can go both ways. So usually I try to put this one in last, but yeah, let's just go ahead and grab the Y button real quick. So the Y is going to look like this. And you can see if I'm just trying to put it in wrong for you. See, it's not working, but if I, oh, and it slots right in. So this should be how this one goes, and that should just drop, bang, like so. All right, now membranes. You see this little equal sign looking thing, and then you can see a little equal sign looking like that. So this has to go vertical like that. And you can look on the other side too. You can see the indentation here. Just match it up so that it slots in like so. There we go. And that is how you replace a V-pad. All right. Let's grab our motherboard here. One more look over. I'm looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. I think I got all the crap off of it. Okay. Slot you in. Okay. So now let's grab our fan PowerFlex. Joy-Con connector, line nice and flat. Oh, And we're going to grab our... Oh, look at that. That still needs a little tiny bit of cleaning, it looks like. That's weird. I could have sworn I got all this off. Maybe I should have soaked this too, huh? Oh wow. Now that is some serious gunk on that. So let's go ahead and pull this off. It's just alcohol that's slipped through. The rest of the case looks fine. Speaker's fine. No. This is not fine. This was pretty gunky. And I don't know why. Oh, there it is. Let's grab a stiffer bristle. See if maybe a proper scrub will... Yeah, I don't know what. There we go. I think we got some more up top here, and just loosen. Wipe it off with my fingers. Looking pretty good. I think that got it. Finally. Not feeling any more stickiness when I scrape my fingernail across it. Cool. Boy, I want to just, this stuff is just wow. Whatever they gunked on here is oh, really sticky. I don't know. Thing is, you know, for a device that's meant for children, boy, these things are freaking allergic to children, let me tell you. Maybe Nintendo's kind of banking on that fact. They know that kids are going to be playing this with their sippy cup in their hand when you're freaking bathtub. Now, that's what I want to freaking know. What parent is going to let their kids bring an electronic device near a freaking tub of water? I think my dad would have tanned my hide if he saw me doing that. Now, that being said, I know kids are sneaky. I've destroyed my fair share of electronics. I destroyed it in a time where, boy, it was really painful to lose something. I'm sure my dad would love to tell you all about the time I decided to see what happens when you mix peanut butter with a 5.5 inch or 5.25 inch floppy drive. Spoiler alert, nothing good. Except a very pissed off and frustrated father who then had to literally tear apart a floppy drive to bare bones to clean. Back in a time when the internet was not a thing. Thankfully, he was smarter than your average bear. But still, I never lived that one down. Okay. Now we got the first screw in. Now we did have one more piece in here I was still trying to clean. And you've got a membrane that I've got to pull off. This one should be not too difficult, but these trigger buttons just build up such an amount of gunk on the bottom of them. Alright. Alright, that works. Okay. Let's just continuing on here. So we'll just start bit by bit. Just kind of getting a couple of these screws set up off camera to make my life a little bit easier. All right. So, right, and then right. All right, so this is where you kind of gotta be a little careful at the spring. You don't want to double check, make sure it clicks good, and just take a little tweezer or something and make sure that spring is nice in that recess there. Okay, and then we take our actual trigger. All right, these take brass screws. I normally actually usually install the Digitizer Flex before I do this, but we're here now, so we'll just try it this way this time. Shouldn't be too difficult, to be quite honest, but it is harder than it should be. Let's just go ahead and get some things hooked up here. Let's get you. Okay. Down, that's the digitizer, and this is the LCD cable. Now with the LCD cable, we'll say this until the day I die, be very, very careful with this one. Everything should just kind of slide in with just the very slightest amount of resistance, just to let you know that you socketed the cable. It's pretty easy to bend pins in that connector, and that is not a connector you want to bend pins in. It's not an impossible fix, but again, don't break things that aren't, don't replace things that don't need to be replaced. You can just take your time. I've actually managed to mangle that connector a few times, less than this one. This connector down here seems to be like the linchpin on this board, and if you're gonna keep a stock of them, keep a stock of those. They're very expensive. They're like $3 a pop, because I think they only make them for Nintendo. And if you want to order them from Molex, you got to order like 20,000 of them. And this one doesn't have the little stripe on it to let me know it's straight. We're good there. And we'll hit that with some hot air just to make sure the fan's still running. Now we got our... Yes, we gotta put this in first, because then we gotta... I love it. This is probably the easiest flex connector on the board, because this cable is nice and stiff, and it just slots in so easily. So I love that one. Now we get a whole bunch of these silver screws. In true Nintendo fashion, they are pretty uniform with their screw sizes, so you don't really have to worry about it too much. All right. The Wi-Fi is hooked up. Now, put on our freshly repaired daughter board. Let's do this though. I kind of find that this power cables, or this power flex cable, is a little bit easier to install when the board's off. A little bit easier. So I try to remember to do what I can, which, believe it or not, is not often. I actually don't really take these daughter boards apart very often, but okay. So start. Now, this idiot lost some of the screws to this thing, so we're not going to be replacing the hidden screw. These two are brass. And one of these two big silver ones here. We got one right here. One right here. Oh wait, that's a brass screw, is it not? Never mind, I'm an idiot. Oh, this. Why not? No, that does make sense. This one is brass. Sorry. There you go, brass, brass, brass. And then, of course, when we put our. So first, we install the shoulder button. Same thing. You kind of gotta get that spring put in the recess, and then just slide everything into place. Make sure you're good and clicky. Okay, feels good to me. Then we're going to grab our freshly cleaned trigger button here. Put that membrane back in the socket. And same thing, these. All right, perfect. Now these also take brass screws. Well, let's see here. I might have screwed myself just thinking about this shoot. Normally when I work on daughter boards, I never take the speaker off for the most part. I might have to unscrew everything to slide this under. We'll find out. Let's grab my tweezers to make this a little bit of an easier job here. No, okay. Good deal. I think we're going to first connect this ribbon. Okay. What? Did that not get connected? Okay, that's in good. Okay, that's in good. Oh, that's right. I'm an idiot. Duh. This brass screw needs to get put in after you put the speaker in. Ugh. Moving too quick. Okay. Get that slotted in and grab that screw. Okay, that should do it in terms of fasteners. Let's grab this Joy-Con ribbon. You plugged in. This is the backlight flex cable. If your console gets liquid damage, I guarantee you this thing is going to be corroded to shit, ruining your LCD. As is tradition with these switch lights. I've had more liquid damage switch lights that have this cable corroded because it's just the amount of voltage that passes through the line is it's pretty heavy. 17 volts at full brightness. Now, Okay, so I'm gonna grab this speaker wire right here. Hook you in. And the same thing, this is a Joy-Con cable. You put into place, eh? Okay. That should do it for all of my ribbons. Last but not least, we're gonna get the battery cable kind of in position here. And then slide this flex cable in. I like to plug the battery in last, just in case. You don't want to short any of these pins with the battery plugged in. Slide the cable in first. Then, whatever you do, don't push the battery connector down with the cable. A pair of tweezers on the inside, on the underside of it, because these flex cables are very fragile, and if you push it in that hard plastic, chances are you're gonna break something on the cable. So just try to be very gentle. You can kind of like get it into place and kind of hold it, like very gently hold it into place with the cable, but don't actually put real pressure like you're trying to plug it in. This one's kind of fighting me right now. There you go. That battery port's just very stiff on this one. Okay, so moment of truth. Did I break it? Break it. I did. What the heck? Double checking everything here. We look good. We got power. I'm a little confused. Well, it's powered on. Very interesting. Very interesting here. Very interesting. Okay. Something is not happy now. Just going over all my connections. LCD looks fine. Backlamp maybe? I mean, sometimes this connecting needs a little nudging, but that was a little weird. Let's try it again. I'm getting 0 amps now. Why?